You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, General Hospital fans. This is Soap Dirt on YouTube, and we want to talk about the fate of Ned Quartermaine. Is Ned Quartermaine dying or in a coma? This is kind of a comings and goings update. Is Wally Kurth about to be out at General Hospital based on what happened today? Things were really wild on GH today because Ned Quartermaine was eavesdropping and found out that Nina Reeves is the SEC whistleblower that turned in Drew and Carly. Ned had some snarky things to her, and then he literally went running to rat her out to Drew Kane, and that's when things turned really soapy and he got hurt. And we have to wonder, is Ned's injury fatal? Because new spoilers for next week on General Hospital call Wally Kurth's future into question. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you about the spoilers and tell you what happened in just a second. But if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our General Hospital spoilers, casting news updates, and comings and goings videos like this one. So here's why we are wondering if Ned Quartermaine isn't the next one on the comings and goings chopping block, at least in the short term. So at the time of Ned's scary poolside incident, Drew Kane and Tracy Quartermaine were arguing by the Metro Court pool. Drew knows that Tracy put BLQ, Brooklyn Quartermaine, at deception as a spy, and he tells her flat out that he's blackmailing her and that he is going to report BLQ for corporate spying and expose her and Tracy's role in this if Tracy doesn't do what he's asking. And what he wants is for Tracy to make her son Ned use his influence to shut down the SEC investigation or else. Now, already Drew had told his lawyer, Zeke Robinson, that he was thinking about just throwing himself under the bus to save Carly, but Zeke doesn't like that. And so Drew says, I've got one more thing I can try, but you don't want to know about it. That's because if you confess to your lawyer a future crime that you are planning, they actually are obligated to report it to the police and not to protect you under attorney-client privilege. I don't know if you knew that, but attorney-client privilege covers you for past crimes. So if, for instance, Drew came to Zeke and said, yeah, I engaged in insider trading and I also ran over a little old lady with my motorcycle and I kicked 3 puppies. If those are all things he's already done, then the lawyer can keep them secret. But if you tell your lawyer, I'm planning to kill my husband next week, I'm going to hit him in the head with an axe, then the lawyer is honor bound to report you. They only cover that kind of privilege under past deeds so that they can discuss your legal strategy. So he didn't want to tell his lawyer that he was going to resort to blackmail as a Hail Mary pass. So right as they were having this nasty confrontation by the pool, here comes Ned Quartermaine trucking in at top speed. Nina is not far behind him, trying to stop him. She's freaking out because she knows everything is about to go badly. And as we all know, you're not supposed to run by the pool. There's got to be 5 signs at that 2-foot deep Metro Court pool saying, don't run. Everybody knows this, but he ran and then he tripped, he cracked his head, and then he fell into the water, and then he was motionless, and then everything went crazy. Tracy's yelling at Drew to get him out. She is staring, and then she runs to call 911. Nina was thinking about calling 911, but when she saw Tracy had the phone in her hand, then she was just like, okay, I'm just going to creep out of here and just pretend like I wasn't even part of this equation. So Drew's doing CPR, Tracy's calling 911. And even though things look really bad for Ned because he's got this head injury and then he was like underwater until, floating face down, probably breathing in water until Drew got him out, his grasping mom, Tracy, takes advantage of the situation. She is so conniving and diabolical that off the cuff, she comes up with this plot. And when the first responders show up, she says, Drew attacked my son. So she's saying he is the reason that her son's in the pool. Now, of course, Drew knows that he didn't do it, and Tracy thinks that there was nobody else to witness it, so she thinks that this is a perfect setup. Nina knows the truth, but if Ned's unconscious, that's good for Nina. So this is like super soapy. And the bottom line is Tracy's accusation against Drew is extremely plausible because he punched Ned in the face at the Quartermaine mansion, and there were plenty of witnesses to that. And most people assume that Ned called the SEC on Drew and Carly, and they think that Drew is gunning for him. So it makes sense. And Tracy can sell this, and, she's got power, she's got influence. Heck, she's got friends at the PCPD because she's the one who got Chase his job back. So Drew might be facing much more serious charges than this SEC thing, thanks to his, clumsily done blackmail attempt and Ned's clumsy attempt to run into the pool area. So if you're wondering why this has us asking if Ned Quartermaine is out and if Wally Kurth's run is over, it's all about the official General Hospital spoilers for next week if you look at them in the context of what happened today on the ABC soap. So on Monday, June 12th, Drew updates Carly about something. No doubt he is going to tell her what happened, that Tracy is double-crossing him, why he's been arrested, and that he was trying to blackmail their way out of the SEC mess. So I imagine that he's going to come clean to Carly about everything because why wouldn't he? All right. Then on Tuesday, June 13th, the spoilers are that Nina is nervous. So she might be afraid that Ned is going to wake up and immediately rat her out. The good thing for Nina is a lot of times when there is a traumatic brain injury, even when the patient wakes up, they don't remember right away, and sometimes not ever, things that happened right before that brain injury. If you didn't know that about head injuries, it is important to note. So there's a good chance that Ned won't wake up remembering it, and maybe will never remember it. So that could work out really well for Nina. All right, then on Wednesday, June 14th next week, the spoilers have two Ned-adjacent things happening. First is the Quartermaines are left reeling, and Olivia has an important decision to make. So I'm wondering if the Quartermaines are reeling because Ned is in a coma, because he has a brain injury, because things are looking dire, and maybe the important decision that Olivia has to make is a medical decision about him. Maybe they need to put him in an induced coma to try and let his brain swelling go down, put a little shunt in his head, that kind of stuff that they do. So it could be, surgery, some complication, but those two spoilers in particular really point to Ned being in dire shape. All right. The other thing to know is that Wally Kurth is doing double soap duty. He also plays Justin Kiriakis over on Days of Our Lives. And he is very busy over there right now. He's got some major front burner storylines. However, it's very hard to tell how busy he actually is at Days right this moment. And that's because Days shoots 6 months ahead. They are the most aggressive soap about their shooting schedule. That was why during the COVID pandemic, they were the only soap still on the air for a couple of months after all the other ones ran out, is because they shoot so far ahead. So right now on Days of Our Lives, we're seeing Justin a lot, which is Wally Kurth's character. So that could be a reason why he needed a timeout from GH, and this medical situation that feels like it's coming could have provided him a window to allow him more work over at the NBC soap opera. In fact, Wally Kurth has been playing Justin on Days of Our Lives for almost 40 years. It's insane. And he's, of course, been on GH for a heck of a long time, for decades as well. So it's an exciting time for him. So, and we got one more big thing to say about why we think that Ned might be leaving for a while. We'll dig into that in 1 second. But if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our General Hospital updates and spoilers. Okay, so we suspected for a while now that the reveal that Nina is the one who reported them to the SEC would not come until Nina and Sonny's wedding day. Because what is soapier than the groom to be at the altar and there's his bride, and then somebody burst in with this ugly truth bomb that will blow up the wedding and have him jilt her at the altar. That is the soapiest of soap things. They love blowing up weddings on soap operas. But then all of a sudden, when Ned overheard Nina talking to Martin Gray, it was like, oh crap, no, it's going to come out right now. That's crazy. And then, of course, this Ned thing, and he trips. And by the end of the episode, it's like, okay, yeah, I think this is still not going to come out until the wedding. They can leave Ned in some kind of coma, in some medical condition where he can't speak or he's got amnesia. There's a lot they can do with a brain injury. So I'm back to really feeling strongly about the truth remaining hidden until Nina and Sonny's wedding day. But as to Wally Kurth being written out of General Hospital for good, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to kill off Ned Quartermaine. I would be stunned. I think the only way they would kill him off is for some reason Wally Kurth wanted to retire and wanted them to retire his character. General Hospital has killed off plenty of Quartermaines before, beloved Quartermaines. They killed off Lila. They killed off Edward. They killed off Alan Quartermaine out of nowhere. So you can't say, oh, they won't kill somebody from the Legacy family. Well, they would, and they've demonstrated that. That was under a different writing regime, but you never know. But still, in this General Hospital Comings and Goings updates, we suspect that Ned might be off the front burner and in some kind of medical crisis that makes him unable to blab about Nina's guilt in the SEC matter for quite a while. Wait and see.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.